Welcome back, everyone. This is David Quigley. Today I'd like to introduce one of my practitioners who has been using the process of emotional clearing therapy with her clients. And we're going to talk about what emotional clearing therapy is and why it's so important for changing people's lives. Christine, maybe you start by introducing yourself and your work to our listeners.
Hi, I'm Christine Engblom, and I practice Reiki along with hypnotherapy in my own practice. And I graduated here at the Institute back in March, and I'm excited to talk about emotional clearing with David today.
Good. Excellent. So, emotional clearing, of course, means working with childhood memory in a very different way than ordinary psychotherapy and hypnosis therapy have done. The idea of emotional clearing is, first of all, to not just look at what traumas and neglect happened in our childhood, but to actually rescue the child from those experiences through a dramatic rescue mission in which the body, the arms, the legs, as well as the voice of the client is used to pick up that child, rescue that former self, and, where necessary, find new loving parents, a new loving father and mother in the inner world to help them heal their lives. So how has emotional clearing been a part of your practice, Christine?
I think that for people that really want to move beyond the traumas of their childhood, it's essential in changing the emotional charge behind memories that trigger them in their daily lives, because some of the traumas that people have in childhood can render them kind of victim to their reactional mind. They'll carry kind of reactional behaviors to their life that they find hard and difficult to overcome, and it's oftentimes because there's a underlying issue behind an emotional trauma of their childhood.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And so when you get at the core of that, it helps people to release that emotional charge behind it, and therefore can sometimes release some of those unwanted behaviors in their daily life.
And what have you found this effective for, emotional clearing therapy?
It's great for changing your perception about relationships with people in your life that are difficult. It's great for helping people that have unwanted behaviors like addiction or problems, relationships with food or money or relationship with pretty much anything that isn't healthy in your life. It's also really great to overcome grief and to just kind of do some self-discovery work about why you are the way you are. And in the processes also, you kind of learn how you can learn from your experiences and what the good takeaway is. And because all of our life experiences have something to teach us. And doing these processes really helps us to walk away empowered instead of feeling like a victim.
Thank you, Christine. That's lovely. Now, I know people who go through my training always have to experience emotional clearing themselves. It's a 5-day portion of our class in which every student in class has to go back and rescue their child and sometimes deal with their parental figures, and whether they're going to keep their parents or find new ones, that all has to be sorted out. What was that experience like for you when you were going through the training with emotional clearing?
It was amazing. I didn't know what to expect because I had never done that kind of work before. But the transformation with myself was tremendous, but the transformation of watching everyone else in the collective group was amazing too. I mean, every person's journey, we all as a group learned lessons from those. So it was like quadrupling the learning for us all. But for me personally, in the journeys that I had, it really helped me to get a different, broader perspective on what was happening in my life and kind of take away some deeper understanding and deeper forgiveness for why I was the way I was and the situations that I wasn't really proud of. So it just changed my life, and the rest of the program went even deeper than that. So it was just really foundational for me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Good. So we're going to talk for just a minute about how emotional clearing works, and then you're going to have the opportunity to see an emotional clearing session, which Christine is going to demonstrate for all of you today. The reason I'm having Christine perform this demonstration is I want you to see that even recent graduates of my work are capable of performing miracles with this process. It isn't always about what David Quigley can do. It's about what all of us can do with this amazing process. So thank you so much for volunteering to come in here and give us a session here today.
Yeah, can I ask you some questions?
Sure,
About
let's
the
start
process?
with that. Good.
I mean, David's a great teacher, and he's super entertaining when he teaches the whole group, and the whole process is really cutting edge, I feel. And I just would like you to maybe share a little bit about where it all started for you, how you developed the emotional process, and the whole protocol itself.
That's a very good point.
Where was your inspiration?
Where is my inspiration? Yeah. Well, my inspiration came from my own pain and misery, frankly. During in my childhood, frankly, my parents, who are both very good people, had no idea how to be parents. My parents routinely shamed and abused all of their children. And so, frankly, the only thing I wanted to do when I was a kid was kill myself because I knew that I was never going to amount to anything, and my parents had made that clear to me over and over during my childhood. My father was although both of them were wonderful people, my father was a very shaming, authoritarian, controlling father, and my mother cold and distant. So I felt that I had no recourse to live. It was actually only during a mystical experience early in my college career that I discovered a new inner mother who appeared as a guardian angel who said she was going to take care of me and she was going to make my life worth living. And it's pretty convenient that she came at the age of 20 because I was going to kill myself on my 21st birthday. So it was kind of like the last minute solution here. She showed up in my life. I didn't even believe she was real. I mean, frankly, being the son of a minister, I was, of course, an atheist. But nevertheless, I said, oh, okay, this may be insanity, but it feels good. And soon I discovered that she was taking me back to childhood memories and lifting me out of those memories as a small child. I'll never forget the first time she said to me, David, the real problem is you trying to be a grown-up and you're not. You're a baby that no one has ever loved. And when I surrendered to her love, it allowed her to take care of me. And she introduced a new inner father to me as well. Then all of a sudden, I felt like life was worth living. And together, we started creating new memories. I got to be her little boy and got to be carried in her arms and walk down the street holding her hand and all the things that I'd always needed and wanted for a mother to do for me. That's what she did. And sooner or later, I began to realize that this was an incredibly powerful process. And she said, David, now it's time for you to share this healing with the world. That's the reason we're here together, is so that the world can benefit from this new loving inner family. Of course, that was way back in 1973, 74, when long before John Bradshaw had plowed the field of inner child work. The truth is, I think I'm lucky I wasn't incarcerated in a mental institution, because this whole idea of new loving parents in the inner world, the little child being rescued and held and carried with us throughout our lives, was at the time so radical that I was not at all sure if this stuff could really be effective therapy. But it was shortly after this that pioneers like John Bradshaw began to describe the concept of rescuing inner child. And to this day, I am inspired by the writings of John Bradshaw and many other pioneers in the field of inner child work. But my work is still unique in the sense that only through my work do we help clients to access a loving father and mother in the inner world, along with the adult self, to build a new childhood for that inner child. Why, during our training, for example, we actually have everyone go on a journey to the home where their mother and father live. And they get to experience and then practice every day going back to that house where new memories of a happy childhood can be built. And for so many of my clients who are struggling with weight problems, serious addictions, they need a new childhood worse than they do any kind of therapy. And that's what we provide for them with emotional clearing.
Can I ask you another question? This is a hard question, but it's a common question for
Please.
clients. So when you're you'll see in the demonstration when we go back to a memory, we'll change the memory and we'll rescue the child. People often ask, is that just in my head? Are we just pretending? Is this just, it feels like they're faking it, kind of? But the feeling after the session, there's a shift in the person's energy.
Exactly.
So it can feel like it's kind of redundant, or like you're rewriting a story in a play. How would you explain it?
Yeah, good question. In fact, it would be accurate to say, yes, we're making something up here.
Yeah.
Yes, we are indeed creating a new memory. Scientists have known for many years that in the state of hypnosis, new memories can readily be generated by any number of different hypnotic processes. This is one of the reasons, by the way, why false memory syndrome has become such a buzzword. Because many hypnotists have deliberately or accidentally programmed their clients to have strange memories. But creating false memories, while it can be neurotic in some cases, is exactly what we do in alchemy, creating new memories that fill the gaps in our childhood that the real memories could not. Yes, we are making it up. But as you were saying, if we can do it with the client's body, that's where it makes all the difference in the world. When I can walk in there and pass me that little stuffed animal over here. When I can walk over there and grab that inner child from my father's abusive grasp and say, I've got you now. When I can feel it with every cell of my body while wiping away the tears of relief and of joy. When I can grab my father by the collar and say, how dare you hurt my sister like this? Then my body feels the new memory.
It's your body's releasing it.
That's right.
Not just your mind.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. This is one of the important distinctions between my work and other kinds of hypnosis is that we utilize the body as the source of healing. Other hypnotists are perfectly happy to have you close your eyes and visualize, but in fact, alchemy is body work. It utilizes the expression of the body's feelings and moving with the body to create these powerful differences at a cellular level. Which is why when they wake up and out of trance, they may be saying, I think I made all this up, but they can feel in their bodies how different it feels. Now, a similar question some clients have asked is, well, instead of going back and visiting the grandfather who molested me, why don't we just imagine that he and I are playing a nice little game of tiddlywinks? Some people would rather change the memory by just erasing all the bad parts. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Scientists have discovered over years of research that you cannot replace one memory with another unless the new memory has at least as much or more powerful emotional charge than the original memory. So you literally cannot paste over a terrible memory like molestation with a cute little story of tiddlywinks with grandpa and expect that to make a difference. So one thing that we say is, yes, let's make up the memory, but we have to make up one that is dramatic, which is why I call my work the dramatic rescue mission. We have to go back and confront perpetrators. We need to rescue the child with our physical bodies. Now, how we do that, of course, depends a great deal on the orientation of both client and therapist. There are many possible ways to do it. That's why I'm hoping all of you can see Christine's work, because it's a little different than mine in how we perform a rescue mission. There are many ways to do it, but the important thing is we want to build a daily resource of an inner family where my clients can go to those loving parents anytime, day or night, and receive the wisdom and the comfort and the strength that they need, that they all deserve to have from a loving family.